Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the US. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Achtung Millwall Podcast supports the Lions Food Hub, dear listeners, and you can do too by getting yourself an Achtung Millwall t-shirt from noonelikes.co.uk, also known as Nolu Clothing. They've got a wonderful Achtung Millwall t-shirt on there for £15. At least £8 of each sale goes to support the Lions Food Hub, which does fantastic work for families in and around the South East 16 area. Show your allegiances on the podcast front, dear listeners, by getting yourself an Achtung Millwall t-shirt, and by doing that, you'll support the wonderful, the brilliant Lions Food Hub. Noonelikes.co.uk, Achtung Millwall t-shirt, £15. Check it out.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to Achtung Millwall, special edition of sorts, I suppose. The club have started up a really nice little monthly collective call with all of the main podcasts and YouTube channels where we get to interview a figure from the club. Last month's was a really nice interview we did with Jake Cooper. The one for this month is the one you're about to listen to now, which is a conversation between myself, Micky from That Millwall Podcast, and Joe from the Chat with Chaps show. And we got to interview Caspar de Norre, second placed Caspar de Norre in the Player of the Season. Really terrific campaign for Caspar. And I thought it was a really nice conversation. Just wanted to say a big thank you to the other boys for partaking in the conversation. I think it's a really nice one, actually. And also to Max for setting this up. It's an imaginative move by the club, and I know it's appreciated by everyone that takes part in these conversations. So without any further ado, I'm going to take you over to the conversation. This has gone out on, I think Micky's put it out, and I think Chat with Chaps have put it out. So you may have heard this already, in which case, ignore. But we'll get to use the footage in our own way. And this is my way, as the song says. So anyway, over to our conversation with Caspar.
Achtung, Millwall.
Okay, Joe, I'll leave you to Caspar.
Hi, Caspar. How you doing? It's Joe from Chat with Chaps. Cheers for being on us today and giving us an opportunity to ask you some questions. I've got a few questions. The first one I'll ask you is, you've been in fantastic form this season, finishing just behind Japhet Tanganga in the Millwall Player of the Season voting. What do you feel has been the key to your strong performances, and what adjustments have you had to make to your game in physically, technically and mentally to succeed at Millwall?
I think the first year was more like sort of adapting to the championship, to the physicality of the league. I think technically, everyone knows my qualities like on the ball, and I think I've not changed that much in that regard, but I feel more like the physical side of it. I've also gained a few more kilos, just like for muscle. I think of just become strong a little bit. I know like also like teams are pressing you way more, so there are way more duels. So just like, how can I say it? Like just the energy in the duels and everything is really important, and also like being aggressive to press and everything. So I think I added that a little bit more to my game, and that then resulted in like I think a more steady season and a more better season in the championship. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Micky from That Millwall Podcast. My question to you is, obviously you mentioned before in an interview that you know what it means to be a Millwall player. What does that mean to you, to be a Millwall player? What do you think being a Millwall player means?
I think to give everything, every single minute that you're on the football pitch. It's not so much about always what you do with the ball, but like, for example, if you do like a tackle or something and the ball goes out, the crowd will start cheering. And if like before in Belgium, I mean, that would never happen. It was like, I think that's like something that I found here at Millwall. Like if you like give yourself 100%, if you're like really aggressive and like if you really show that you mean it, that the fans are behind you, and then like even if sometimes you give a ball away or anything, but if you then like do a tackle afterwards, that's sorts it out again, that everyone's like happy that you're like just giving everything for the club. And like I said, a little bit more like that physicality as a player, in the duels, in the tackles. I think that's what feels for me like a Millwall player. Like obviously I have also like how I see football. I think I'm more a player who sees football in a technical way and like with the ball, but I also feel like I've learned more that sometimes you can like turn the ball first 5 to 10 minutes to get the pitch a little bit more stretched, that the fans like to see it, that we go forward a little bit more rather than just keeping playing it behind. And I think I've learned a little bit more to mix it up a little bit, to not always doing things pretty and nice, but sometimes just put the ball forward and then fight from there. So I think finding that balance between like being the technical player that I am and like sometimes just do it a little bit more in a nasty way or something. I think that balance is a little bit that I've learned the second year.
I agree with you there. I think definitely the second year there is definitely more to your play now. There is a lot more. You can see the technical, but you can also see that dogged player, that never give up player, that your chase balls down, you can read the game a lot better, which I suppose is because they're different leagues from what you're used to. But no, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nick?
Hi, Caspar. I'm Nick from Achtung Millwall Podcast. Well done for coming second in the Player of the Season. I thought that was a real, you're up against a really, really good, strong, winner there in Jeff Tanganga. But yeah, a huge amount of excitement amongst the support. What's the mood like in the camp at the moment, Caspar? How are the players feeling ahead of Saturday's huge match?
I think very excited. I think how we've been really doing it the last sort of like 10, 15 games, like just try to win every single game. Just try to go for it. And obviously you feel in the dressing room that, how can I say it? Everyone feels that we can do something special. Because if you would have told us 3 months ago that we would have been in this position, I think nobody would have believed it. I think I feel like after Portsmouth game, and I think the Sheffield United game away was like a turning point, and a lot of guys has had from it's like it's on now, like we really push for it. And then obviously like the results going a little bit our way in recent game weeks. So I think a lot of excitement going forward to the game of Saturday. I mean, obviously everyone knows we're playing against a very good team, but I mean, we have nothing to lose really. I mean, we have only something to gain. We're now 7th, so we need to attack it and we need to go for it. And we'll see what happens on Saturday.
That's interesting. One of my other questions was about whether you feel the squad are feeling any pressure. I don't feel it as a fan, but as players, are you taking any sense of that kind of what you just said? Really, I suppose that there's nothing to lose. We've come in from nowhere almost, haven't we?
Yeah, and that I've not experienced like pressure the last few months, because I mean, once we played like, Luton, Portsmouth away, and then QPR at home. After that, I felt like, okay, now we can like really start looking up again.
Yeah.
And even from that point on, like there was no real pressure anymore, and I think we just attacked every game to win. And yeah, from that point on, we just started winning. Also, I think we lost a few badly as well, but I would rather win a few and then lose one bad than like have a few draws here and there. So I think that's really like boosted our confidence as well. So I don't feel like there's really been pressure like as a group. Like, I mean, we had nothing to lose, and we still have nothing to lose. We still have something to gain. Yeah.
100%. Thank you, Caspar. Over to Joe.
Caspar, since joining Millwall, you worked under 4 different managers: Gary Rowett, Neil Harris, Joe Edwards, and now, of course, Alex Neil. Each of them have their own style and approach. What is it about Alex Neil's management that you feel that brings out the best in you?
Just his eye for detail, and like just the work we do on the pitch is like really detailed. Always, I mean, I think if the game ends, our game, he watches our game back, and then he watches 4 or 5 games from the other teams already. So, I mean, just the prep work is really, I've not seen that before. I've not had a manager before who's like so detailed every single game week. And I mean, if you have a clear idea on the pitch and you know what you're doing and you know where your mates are going to be on the pitch, I think you feel more calm and relaxed. Sometimes you get the ball back and you know, like, oh, normally how we train, somebody should be on my left or somebody should be on my right. So you can sort of like blindly play that ball already. And just, those messages of where everyone is on the pitch, when we have the ball, when we don't have the ball, I think it's been really detailed, and it helps you a lot as a player also to, you get the ball and you know where everyone is. So you have always an option to play to, and that calms your brain down a little bit, like I can say, like, because it's not nice if you're on the pitch and you look around, you have nobody to play to, you think, oh my God, what am I going to do now? But if you have a few options every time, then it makes it so much easier.
Cheers, Caspar. Micky?
Obviously on away days, who do you room with on away day with player wise, and also who do you feel the most closest player to within the team?
Who do I room with? Oh,
share a room.
Share a room.
We don't share a room.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on my own.
Okay, forget that bit then. Forget the beginning bit. You don't share no more. Obviously, the budget's increased. But who do you feel the most closest to within the team?
The one guy I see the most outside of the training ground, outside of football, is Joe Bryan. We go, like for example, yesterday in the afternoon, I went to his apartment because he has like a sky pool above his apartment. So we went there and sit in the sun a little bit. So it's mostly Joe. I think we go for a coffee sometimes. Last few months, we've also been going to, like I live in Canary Wharf. So there's like a sort of like a sauna with like ice baths. So like on days off, we go there for like an hour and a half to like do some recovery work together and stuff. So I think especially because last season I was really close with Zian and Connell because we had like a car school with the 3 of us. But obviously Zian left in the summer and Connell left in the winter. So then the last few months I've been hanging out more with Joe than anyone else, I think.
Nick?
I love the idea of Joe and his sky pool. This is put a whole new image in my mind now, Caspar.
It's
a shared sky pool.
I know you're destroying my.
There's other people there.
You're destroying my image now.
Together.
Obsession with his coffee.
Oh yeah. Coffee as well.
I was gonna go back to the comparison, Caspar, with Belgian football. I mean, I was looking at your record. You actually won the first division in Belgium, didn't you? With Genk, 2018, I think. I saw, and then played in some European football, Europa League, and I think Champions League. I think I saw. I mean, how does it compare? I mean, you've mentioned the kind of physicality of the Championship. Is there have you had to make a real kind of adjustment to your game coming from what sounds like pretty high level football in Belgium, but to England? Is it that different for you?
Yeah, I feel Belgian football is, I think it's not too far off in terms of like physicality. For it, like if you compare like double the Netherlands is really technical. That would be all like possession based.
Yeah.
The lower league, like lowest, how you say that, lowest ranked teams in the league. They from behind, from the back, and I think in Belgium it's more like a mixture of that with like English football, like Championship football, where there's like loads of duels, also like loads of games that get like decided on set plays. I feel like, for example, if like sometimes we go 1-0 up, I think if we go 1-0 up in the first minute, I felt like some games we can play 90 minutes with all the pressure on the world on us, and we wouldn't concede a goal. And I think like that would not happen in Belgium. I think teams would like always try and go for like always try to play a little bit more, and I feel like that's also a little bit due to the size of the country, because I mean you have so many teams in the Championship that are like a little bit like equal, like the quality of the team is equal. The stadiums are all a little bit the same, and in Belgium you have like the top teams like Club Brugge who are playing Champions League football, and then you have like
Anderlecht.
Anderlecht, like for example, I played Serre where I played for 500 people or 1,000 people.
Oh wow! Okay,
I always describe it more like you have like the top teams in Belgium who I think are like more like high Championship, lower Premier League or mid-table Premier League quality, and then you have like a few teams that are Championship quality, and then you have like a few teams who are like League 1, League 2 quality. So you have a mixture of all of that in the league, because obviously it's a small country. So that's what I'm saying. Like some teams, I think the quality of players, like for the lower ranked teams, it's not as good as what we have here at Millwall or in general in the Championship. But then you have also players like for Club Brugge who would like be so good, like they would play in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like how can everyone win against everyone in the Championship? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
Hey all, I'm Jamie Lynn Sigler, a mom, actor, and advocate. I know how overwhelming it can be trying to decide which treatment is right for you. I've been there. But you should know you're not alone. You can do this. Start with some research, talk to the community, and most importantly, don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions. You might find results that speak for themselves. That's how I landed on Kesimpta. Ask your doctor if Kesimpta, ofatumumab, could be right for you. You can check out the details at kesimpta.com.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
BTW FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Did you have an ambition to play abroad from Belgium, Caspar? Did you want to come to England specifically, or did you have an ambition to play, away from your home country?
Yeah, I always like where I was at Leuven. I was really happy at Leuven. I mean, it was not too far from where I lived. Like I still lived at home, close to my family and friends. So it was like the ideal situation. We were also like we had a good season the year before, but then obviously I knew rather early that Millwall was interested, and I always had like a feel. I was 26 at the time. Like maybe now is like a good time to go if something like really what I really wanted to do comes up. And for me, that was either Germany or England, because I think to to take also the next step in my game, I needed to add like a little bit that physicality, and I think you could find it in Germany or England. And then obviously Millwall were interested, and I was like rather early. I made my decision like I really want to go because I want to experience English football. And I'm very happy that I did, because if I look sometimes now to the Belgian league, obviously there are some very nice teams there, but like if to then go for the 10th time to a away game where there are 2,000 people or something, you think, oh, I would rather play I don't know, at the Den, and like at Sheffield United or something, you know what I mean? You always
understand
50,000 plus people, and that's so nice. Yeah.
Over to Joe. Thank you, Caspar.
Cheers, Nick. Caspar, I've got a question here from a Millwall fan living in Belgium, funny enough. His name's Caspar de Norre. Do you know him at all? He happens to be your father. He wants to know, why is it that when you do interviews, you never mention him? Is it because you're jealous that he was actually a better footballer than you when he was younger, and because he taught you everything you know?
Yeah, because I've never seen images. I've never seen footage of him playing, so I don't believe it. That's why. Oh, yeah.
Apparently, he was a decent footballer, was he?
He was a good player, but I think he loved the Belgian beer a little bit too much. So I think from there his career went like that.
Excellent. And one quick question: have you tried pie and mash yet?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
That's disappointing. You're only across the water from Tower Bridge. You could go into Manzi's, couldn't you, and give it a go, no?
Yeah, it doesn't look too great, so. No, I've had fish and chips. I have an English breakfast. Quite like an English breakfast.
Yeah.
On a day off, and that's about it.
Sunday roast. Sunday
roast, yeah. But for me, I feel like that's a normal dinner actually. It's just Sunday in the afternoon.
Well, you got to try pie and mash this summer while you're off. Then, yeah.
I will try it.
Let us know. I'll have one go at saying this. Sorry, Caspar. But dank to voor je tijd.
Graag gedaan.
Micky.
So, Caspar, just one is obviously you come second in Player of the Year this season. What is it that you feel you're going to bring? What you need to bring to your game for next season to finish top?
Score more goals and give more assists, maybe, and not bump into a good player like Jeff. I mean, Jeff had a really good season, so I mean, I voted also for him for Player of the Year, so I think it was deserved for him to win it, and I feel like, I mean, probably score a little bit more and give a little bit more assists.
On a fan's point of view with Tango, he seems to bring out the best in a few of the players. Since Tango's been in the side, there seems like yourself and Cooper and that seem to perform differently with him there. Is that because of the confidence that he brings to the team, or the added part what he brings? I mean, what is it about Tango that just makes some of you players so much better?
I just feel he's obviously a really good player. But then if I would say in a more tactical way, for me, for example, I know I can push up a little bit more because I can leave my man sometimes, because I know Jeff will push through if they find him in the end. So if you look a little bit like how we play, I'm always the guy who pushes forward and presses forward. It's because Jeff is behind me and he can also press forward and win that duel. So that's something for me, for example, that helps my game out, because I quite like to not think about what's in my back and just press forward. And then I know Jeff's behind me, and he will, if they find it, or if there's something happens, then he will sort it out. Yeah.
Cheers, Micky. Caspar, I've got two final questions for you, mate. I was going to praise your English. Your English is brilliant. How do you get along listening to Alex Neil? and his form of English.
It's all right, actually. I think the assistant manager Kenzo is a little bit more difficult. No, actually, after it's like the first few days were difficult because it goes it's rather
yeah.
But then after once you know really what he means by some words or something, after a while you just like figure it out, and it gets more easier the longer you work with him. So yeah, Kenzo is quite funny because when he does like a set play meeting, he always does like, because he wants to make sure that everyone heard it. So if he, for example, says something about my position, he says always, where are you? Like, where are you? Where are you? That's quite funny.
Last question from me, Caspar. Obviously, Zian can't play on Saturday because he's contractually, tied against us. Have you had a good luck message yet from Zian, or will you get one after the game, perhaps? Or something
we texted a little bit after
Swansea.
After we beat Swansea.
Yes, I remember that.
You just said, "Oh, you guys keep on winning." And I said, and then he said, like, "Yeah, it's a shame I can't play." And I like said, "Yeah, maybe you could have helped us. Maybe it was better that you played because you could have helped us." Sending me like a meme from Homer Simpson who goes like back into the
bushes.
So,
nice one.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been funny if he played. I would have loved to see how Savs and Coops would have dealt with it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Caspar.
My pleasure. It was very nice.
I've got one more, so I'll squeeze in. We've got time. Caspar, you've played in central midfield with many Millwall midfielders, George Saville, George Honeyman, Billy Mitchell, Wintle. I think when you played most games with George Saville alongside you, what do you feel that he brings to your game, to the team when you're playing alongside him? What does he give you as a partner?
I think he's very experienced in this league, so I think also he can feel the game really well. So sometimes he can feel like, oh guys, we can't press now. We have to sit back for like 5 minutes because we've been pressing and didn't work out a few times or something. So he feels the game really well. And also from my side, a little bit like the same with Jeff. I've like blind confidence in him, like that I can go forward and push forward, and that he will hold his ground and he will pick up a second ball there if something goes wrong up front or something. So just that confidence behind me of like a guy who will most of the time win that tackle, win that duel, picks up second balls, and is also a very good football player. So it's a little bit the same with like him and Jeff. Like I can push forward a little bit more because I know they are in my back.
Yeah, a good answer. Yeah, cheers.
Micky,
any more?
Just one more question. Is that all right, Max?
Yeah, it's fine. Go for it.
What's your favourite Millwall game you've been involved in since your time with Millwall? Or is it Saturday that we win and make the playoffs and everyone else loses?
I mean, if that happens, obviously that will be a favourite. But yeah, I think actually the last few weeks just at home, I think the atmosphere has been brilliant the whole time. I think, could just feel like this, like, how do you say that? Symbiosis, is that a word in English?
It is. Yes, it is.
Yes. Our Belgian translator.
Fans and team, like
connection.
The connection, yeah. Just Monday and Saturday against Swansea, and personally for me, like going away at Swansea and scoring my first goal for Millwall, and then this year also my first goal this season. So those Swansea games away are always fun for me.
What's been your best goal, Caspar, for Millwall you scored? What's your favourite goal you've scored for us so far?
They've all been quite similar, really. It's like, I think, what's been really good, like, I think the first game away at Swansea last season, the end of last season, obviously, Matty saved that penalty, and obviously one knows what happened with Matty, and it's all been difficult for us, but I think maybe that's then a special moment that he made that penalty save, and I scored the winner, and then we did an interview afterwards. So maybe
right in front of the away supporters, the Millwall fans as well.
Yeah, Yeah, and then this year as well. I think they've all been pretty much the same. So it's all been one-touch finishes in the box. I think the one against Cardiff was also nice because Reyes did like an amazing trick on the back line.
The byline, yeah.
Byline, and cut it back and I shot. So yeah, they've all been one-touch finishes in the box. So I hope I can score maybe on Saturday a goal from outside the box. Nice volley, because I love a volley actually. So actually the one I missed against Preston in the early of the season, I did a one-touch volley from outside the box.
Yes, that would have been a lovely goal.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nice one.
Micky, you got to follow up. We got a couple of minutes. Under pressure.
No, not really. No, I mean the only one I've got was that obviously your preconception of Millwall before coming to them, and now obviously actually seeing what Millwall's about inside, the stuff what we do in the community, the way the fans do to charities, etc., etc. What's your opinion of, where was your difference in it? Were you fearful coming, obviously, with what the media sits there and says about Millwall, but actually the truth is completely different?
Yeah, it is, like you said, it's completely different. I mean, it's a family club. I've always been at my best at family clubs where you feel at home, supported by everyone. So yeah, I think if I can say, like, for example, if people from Belgium ask me about Millwall, they always think about the movies and about hooliganism and everything. But I just say, like, that's like so long ago, and it's so wrong actually, because actually everyone is really nice and yeah, it's just like you said, like there's done so much work. Almost every home game we are wearing T-shirts at the warm-up for some kind of charity or that fans organize. So that's, I mean, yeah, it's a really nice family club for me, and it's not the, how you say that, I don't know the word.
Stereotype.
Yeah, the stereotype thought about Millwall is, I think, a little bit wrong.
No, I totally agree with you completely. If people could look inside the book, then they'd see what we see. But yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't sell newspapers, etc. So yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for your time. I hope you enjoyed that chat. I really enjoyed listening to that. So I hope you guys did as well. Caspar, thank you for your time as well, mate. Yeah, guys, I'll get this recording over to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Caspar. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Max.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
All the best.
Achtung, Millwall.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.